Hello. So we are gonna be making this weird angle because like this you're gonna be able to see. But basically, we are gonna be making those mushrooms. If you don't know me, I'm Joan from Terramida, and on my pot we have these faces. So yes, we're gonna just be working together for the creation of those little ones. Let me check if I've made it, if the camera is working properly, because I have no idea. I think so, but yeah, it's working. Okay, so yes, so we are gonna get some white clay. Sorry, I was checking the laptop. We are gonna get some white clay. Later on, you'll see that we are gonna be painting red on top, and all the rest of the mushroom is gonna be white, and we're gonna have some red dots, but this is gonna be painted later because first of all we're gonna need to sculpt the piece, and basically we're gonna need to wait a tiny bit before we paint it, otherwise it's gonna be tricky to clean in case you want to remove some of the painting because it's gonna be still quite wet. So yeah, this is gonna be the next step, but maybe we can show it and we can share this on a future video. But for now, we are just gonna have fun and make those little ones. And we are gonna get the clay that I have it in here. This is a lot, so we don't need that much. Of course, depends on the size of the depending on the size of the mushroom, you're gonna get more or less. But I think I'm gonna make a little one like those ones. I don't know if it's focusing, but they are quite fun. Too close, I think now. But yes. So for the little one, we're gonna get just a tiny bit. I don't think I'm gonna be waiting the amount of clay because I don't wanna repeat exactly the same piece as I wanna have different sizes between all of them. Like this feels more natural somehow. Otherwise, I would be making a mold and just having all of them being the same. And the chat está desconectado. So I'm gonna make a small ball first. Let's see. In case you have any questions, I just open the chat if you wanna ask me anything, because I have the laptop in here so I can see you. So first of all, we're gonna start just with this tiny ball. We're gonna make. Wait, I'm gonna remove the leftovers of the other mushrooms. But yeah, we're gonna be making this ball, and then we're gonna divide it in the middle like this. I'm gonna separate a tiny bit what is gonna be the head of the mushroom and the base of the mushroom. And of course, depending on the shape of the mushroom you wanna do, it's gonna be longer or shorter. But for me, I just wanna split it in half. And yeah, from here on, I'm gonna be just brushing with my fingers and pressing with the top of the head of the mushroom. I'm gonna be pressing like this. I'm gonna give this shape. You can have it like pointing up or downwards. This will depend on you on what you wanna do. But yes, slowly and easy. Because otherwise, if you rush it, the clay is gonna say to you that it's not enjoying the process because it's gonna start cracking or misshaping. And now I'm opening the head of the mushroom just by pressing a tiny bit. And here we have the head. And at the beginning, I'm just gonna leave it like this. And I'm gonna start working on the base that I wanna have a roundish area, and also I don't know how it's called in English, but this section, like la falla, little skirt, um, this area that basically I'm gonna create it with the wooden tool. I'm gonna be just pressing here all around, and I wanna make it uneven, like this feels more natural. Yes. And as you can see, I have marked all the area, and now here we have a lot of extra clay that we're gonna be brushing out like this. We're gonna be able to use this clay in order to create all the texture. And don't worry if at the beginning it feels like it's misshapen, it's not perfect, because for now we are just working the shape of the mushroom. We are not going into details yet. We're gonna get there though. Are you able to see? I think so. And then you see I did brush down a lot of access clay that we had on the top, on the middle section, and now it's being pushed downwards, and this is what is gonna give the texture for this area that we're gonna be shaping later on. And yeah, so with a tiny bit of water and a spoon, we're gonna just get rid of all those extra bits of clay that were on top, and a tiny bit, creating a bit of chaos. Okay, and now we are gonna just work on the base. I'm gonna be shaping up this section that is the area in which we're gonna be just sculpting the face of the Bomos. Basically, the Bomo family are those faces that I'm working and adding into all the pieces I'm creating. I'm not only doing mushrooms, I'm also doing cups, bases, ring holders, you name it. And yes, we're gonna start shaping up this area. We're gonna leave a tiny bit of space because otherwise the face is gonna be squished, and yeah, we don't want that. By the way, hello everyone that is watching. I see that some of you are here. Thank you. I don't know why I'm not advertising my lives, because I never know when I'm gonna do a live. It's more random. I just feel like I wanna share or work with someone, because sometimes working here in my studio is quite lonely. I'm alone, so it's also nice to have someone that is, I don't know, working with me. So again, if you have any doubts, you can go ahead and ask me anything, and I will happily answer your questions. But yes, here you can see that slowly it's getting more or less the shape of a mushroom, and I wanna even up even more this area that's still not that round. We're gonna apply some pressure here and allow the base to sit, and I'm gonna be also shaping the head of the mushroom differently. Like this, we don't have all the mushroom flat. I'm gonna offer a tiny bit of pressure, and we're gonna have these waves that again is up to you. You can decide if you wanna have it more flat, up or down. And in this case, I think I'm gonna apply some pressure and have it go a tiny bit more low than the other ones I've done that you can see here. Yes. Cool. And now we need to decide what is gonna be the face and what is gonna be the butt of the mushroom. Normally the area of the head that is lifted up is the one that I'm deciding as the face. Like this, you'll be able to see a tiny bit more the face. So I think it's gonna be here. Yes. So this is gonna be the butt of the mushroom. I won't shape it as a bat though, but it's gonna be the back of the mushroom. And this area is where I'm gonna be adding the tiny bit of clay. So I have it ready here. Um, this is gonna be the nose. The nose. This is gonna be the nose, and this is gonna be divided into two, and it's gonna become the eyes. It's a tiny bit dry, so I'm gonna apply some water, leave it here. Okay, maybe. So I'm gonna just clean this area. Later on, we're gonna apply the texture that is gonna don't break. That is gonna be all those details that we have in here. But first of all, I'm just gonna sculpt the little face like this. We're gonna see the personality of this mushroom, and then we'll see how the rest is gonna turn. I'm also using some sponges as a base like this. The piece is gonna be sitting on a small pillow, and it's not having the same pressure once I'm working the piece. It's not having this area, the one that is gonna be in touch with the with the mushroom, with the sponge. It's not gonna have a lot of pressure. This is gonna help to keep the shape of the piece. Otherwise, if you work on the table, you most probably will have a flatter area in here that later on, if it's not a disaster, you can get back the shape. But it's better always to have it sitting on a small sponge. Small, well, this is small. Big sponge. Sorry guys, today my brain is not functioning. So we have this bit that we're gonna shape into a triangle, and we're gonna attach it with some slip, but actually I don't have the slip. Is basically the dry clay. I would add some water, and it's gonna get mixed, and then it's gonna create like a paste that then later on I'm gonna be applying. But since I don't have, it's not that dry, it is dry but not that dry, and the clay is really wet, you can just scratch the surface and apply some water and then move it a tiny bit, and it's gonna do the same effect, so there is no need to apply this extra step basically. So now I just place it on the table and I just press with my fingers like this. And this is gonna shape a tiny bit the nose. But later on, of course, once we attach it, we're gonna work it and remove the extra. You see, something like this. And then I'm gonna get I'm gonna start scratching the surface here and into the other side, also the nose. And as I said, we apply a tiny bit of water with the brush. This is not a tiny bit, this is a lot, but it's gonna be okay. And then later on we just add it together, we press a tiny bit and we move it. Once we are moving it, you're gonna see that the extra amount of clay and water that was underneath the nose is gonna exit through the sides, and this is the thing that is gonna glue the two bits of clay together. And again, I use both. I'm using 4 fingers and pressing like this. I make sure that it's attached. You can see now all the extra water and clay that is around, and if I just press a tiny bit with my finger, the two bits are gonna fuse together. And then later on with the wooden tool we just start shaping the nose. Easy peasy. I mean, once you're doing the mushrooms, if you wanna go ahead and try them, please comment, and or you can find me also on Instagram. I would love to see them if you made them. But yes, with tiny bits like this, you can spend plenty of hours because it's really complicated to know when to stop. Or at least this happens to me quite often. And I'm just gonna be working the sides a tiny bit more to shape up the nose. And I'm gonna be using this in order to not pierce but to mark the nose. I don't know if you are able to see. We have one hole and then we go for the other one. Ta-da! And then with the other wooden tool we're gonna just create and keep on shaping. You can see here the nostrils. Don't focus into my face, focus into the mushroom, please. So basically I'm just pressing in here one side and then I press the other side and I just brush tiny bit into the sides, and this is gonna help you shape up the nose. I get rid of the extra clay, and here we have the little nose that then later on, once it's a tiny bit into the drier side, I'm gonna be just passing the sponge and cleaning the surface, or even with the brush is also easy to clean the excess of clay that you can find all around the nose that you just sculpted. There we go. Now it's quite wet still, so now I'm just gonna move on and start working on the eyes and allow the nose to dry a tiny bit, because if you overwork it or you apply a lot of water, then it's really easy to change the shape of the nose if you kick it a tiny bit, or if you're working with the eyes and you just go through the nose with the wooden tool, you can just remove it easily. Sometimes it happens to me and it's not that cool. So basically basically now we are gonna just mark again the area of the eyes. I'm gonna apply some pressure here, and I'm gonna mark the area of the eye. Same thing into the other side. There we go. And I'm gonna be adding the extra bits of clay on those and on both sides. So we have this clay that I had on the sides on top of the little sponge, and we don't need much. This is actually quite a lot. We are gonna need a tiny bit less. Oops. Something like this would be enough. That then later on we're gonna touch it. You can see that's enough, because once you apply some pressure, you'll see that it's gonna flatten the clay and it's gonna have more surface, so it's gonna get bigger. And we're gonna make the other little eye. Okay, here we have the other little eye. And again, you can apply the slip in here once you scratch the surface a tiny bit. Wait, let me remove the eye. It's so wet that it's glued to my fingers. Okay, good. I don't know if it's too dark. Maybe if I move the focus in here, the light. So I'm gonna scratch, as I said before, the surface, the other side, and then we're gonna apply some water. And we're gonna be attaching the eyes in here. Okay, maybe this is the left one, or is it the right one? There we go. Here we apply and we attach the first one. here complicated to show. Wait. So as you saw, I was just putting the extra bit of clay on top of the area, and then I was pressing a tiny bit, and now we're gonna press it a tiny bit more, and you can see now that the bit is almost fused together, is attached to the mushroom. And again, with the wooden tool, we're gonna start smoothing out the section. Wait, let's remove this eye. Maybe it's gonna be easier to see for you because I had the light behind me and it's not helping. Okay. Also because I don't see. If I have the light behind, I don't see much. Good. So we have the eye almost attached. Now this section is quite wet, the one we have added. So this area that is really complicated to manipulate with my fingers, I'm just gonna be brushing it with the brush. And this is the final help that we needed to attach the eye into the body of the mushroom. Good. And then we're gonna be moving on, and I'm gonna be attaching the other eye before we open, because before we open the eyes I want to have both attached like this. I can level them up easier, or maybe I just prefer it this way. Same thing, we just put the bit of clay on top of the eye section, eye area, I don't know. Sorry for my English is so bad, but maybe we understand each other. Yay! I just saw some comments. Thank you, I love them too. They are quite fun. Yeah, let me know if you wanna see some other stuff, other, I don't know, mushrooms, other shape of mushrooms. I think that would be also quite fun. That I've done only 2 shapes. Muchísimas gracias. Me alegra muchísimo que te gusten los mushrooms, los hongos. It's fun to have you. Thank you for commenting. Maybe you did comment 1 hour ago and I just saw it. I'm so bad with this stuff, but so basically, yeah, there we go. We continue. We have the other eye attached, and as you can see, I was brushing with my finger in order to smooth out the section, and now with the wooden tool we're gonna remove the excess of clay, because I don't want to have like a huge eye. It needs to be quite smooth. Fazboni toasted bread. Love the names though. Toasted bread and fast. I know it's FS Estefani. Okay, so there we go. I really like to have small eyes for the mushrooms, because otherwise, I mean, it depends on the size of the mushroom, of course. But if we have a small mushroom and huge eyes, it's gonna be quite weird. So now we have both eyes attached, and we're gonna be opening up the section with the wooden tool. I'm gonna be using the point. Well, I don't think you know what I mean. This area, this section, the pointy one. this eye is too big. Yes, a tiny bit. So let me remove more clay from here. Even though later on, if I open the eye and I still see that it's quite big, I just use the sponge and I can close a tiny bit of the eye, so it's no problem. Let me shape a tiny. I don't know. Let's use this one. This one I use it for this area, the one that we have in here. The eye socket is because it's flatter. I can get in there without breaking the eye that I just attached. And that's the section that is gonna help me to get the volume. Good. So I'm gonna try to open it up for you to see. I don't know if I'm here, maybe you see. Can you see? No, it's focusing into on my face. Ok, good. Qua. E apriamo l'occhio. We open the eye, the little one. So we have one side, and then later on I'm gonna clean it with the brush, and then we open the other one. Wait, is it? Yeah. And we have the other one. Let's see if you can see if it's focusing or it's too close. Now we are gonna be just brushing with the brush the inside of the eye. I'm gonna pressure a tiny bit here, because otherwise we're gonna lose the shape of the mushroom. This face is so squish. So we just open up the eyes, and now with the brush, and I apply a tiny bit of water. I'm gonna be just brushing all the area and smoothing out this section. Like this, you can see the eyes are a tiny bit more open and clean. And we are gonna start just shaping up the whole mushroom, because now it's quite okay. We have everything, but it's not sharp somehow. So we want to get into this stage in which you can see the details of the mushroom. I don't know if you can see. We are gonna be having all those details. So I'm gonna be using again that tool. Is the best thing you can do and you can buy if you're a potter or you want to start making your own projects. I love this one, and it's this specific one because you can find a lot of different ones that are shaped more or less the same, but it's not the same one. You know, this thing that is like, it doesn't matter what you do, but the thing that you always use, you get back to the same, I don't know, fork or knife or wooden tool or glaze or whatever you wanna say, and you can have, and they can offer you the same product, but it's not the same one. I don't know if I'm going crazy, but yeah, I don't know. I just love this specific one and the shape, the size, and everything. So now we are just going to move on to the next stage, in which we're gonna just shape up everything. I'm gonna brush up this section, and I'm gonna smooth out all the face area. Then later on with the brush, it's gonna be easier to clean and to smooth out. Once is the glaze a bit drier, into the drier side, because now if you apply a lot of pressure, you're gonna deform the little mushroom. And you'll see that we have all this extra clay that we just get rid of with the sponge. And we clean all the surface. Is it too far? Can you see what I'm doing, or did I place the camera too far, or that's okay? Because I don't know if you wanted to have like a primer plano, like a close up, really close, or you want to have more as an overall of what I'm doing, so you can see also my hands and my arms and a tiny bit the table. So let me know if you are not able to see. Okay, we continue with this area, and this section is quite close, so it's gonna be tricky to work. I'm gonna just pull it a tiny bit up, like this. The wooden tool is able to go through. Good. Let's see. Good. So now we're gonna be just marking the inside of the head of the mushroom. I don't know how it's called. English speakers, if you know how it's called this area of the mushroom, let me know. La cabeza. So we're gonna be cleaning the inside and marking it. And I'm using, you can use either this one is the same one, also this one, in order to clean and start marking. And I just go ahead and I draw straight lines, and I try to have a lot of marks in here in order to get a tiny bit more of details. Sorry, it was focusing on my face. So I just go and mark it, and then later on I get back into those areas and I keep on marking it till I have no more space. Even here, in here. And don't worry if you see that in here, for example, you have some extra bits of clay. Whenever I'm gonna let it dry first a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna get back with the sponge or with the dry brush. You can just brush it off, but once it's dry, or drier into the leather texture, you can brush it off with a dry brush, and then with the sponge you just smooth out the surface. Like this is, it won't be sharp. So now you'll see that I'm gonna be leaving those bits on, no problemo. Mia. Thank you. Yes, I agree. The camera can be closer to the mushroom, and I'm gonna get closer now. Maybe for the last bit, we're gonna be, even though I'm gonna be showing and making more pieces. Is it focusing here or? Boom. There we go. Thanks for the feedback. And yes, so basically I'm gonna continue marking the piece. We are almost done. Well, almost. Still, we're gonna work a tiny bit more on the piece, but yeah. Here you have more or less the look. You can mark more if you want, but I think it's okay to leave some areas in which it's not that overwhelming. Yes, good. And then we get into this section. This one I'm gonna break a tiny bit the this area, and we are gonna mark also and don't be afraid to mark it through, because then later on if you want to apply some glaze, it's gonna be covering that area tiny bit. So yeah, if you don't go that deep into the body of the clay, sometimes then later on once you glaze it, and even more if you're using a pigmented glaze, it's gonna be covering it, so you won't be able to see much. And here we have the bleh, little mushroom. Is it? Can you see? Let's see. So here you have almost the final look of the little mushroom. Too close, I think so. And yeah, basically I'm gonna be signing the piece now, and that's gonna be it. Wait, let's apply some pressure. And once once I allow this piece to dry out a tiny bit, then later on I'm gonna get back to it again, and I'm gonna be going through the details in which I'm gonna be just smoothing out a tiny bit more the surface, because I don't wanna overwork it now. And there we go. So we have the little mushroom here, and then we have also that one, the one that I've done previously. It's a tiny bit smaller. But yes, here we have both the same idea, but this one is a tiny bit bigger. Then later on, I'm gonna be painting, as I said before, but I don't know if it was clear. I'm gonna be painting this section with red underglaze and white dots, and all this section is gonna be painted white. And that's all. I'm gonna be moving you a tiny bit. Wait, like this I can say a proper goodbye. Well, goodbye, like see you soon. So here we have the little ones. I'm currently working on the new collection. It's gonna be the first collection. It's gonna be based on some mugs, recreating the surface of trees, and we're gonna have mushrooms, as you can see, and we're gonna have also some incense burners and essential oil burners that are gonna be shaped also as mushrooms that are really cool, and I really love it, and I'm so excited to share them with you. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this little video live. I'm gonna be uploading it also as a regular video so you can see and you can get to do your own mushrooms. And I'm gonna go have a coffee and rest a tiny bit because I think for today I'm done. And I'm gonna go teach a dance class because it's the last thing I need to do today. But thank you for passing by, thank you for staying, and thank you Mia for your feedback and all your comments, guys. The FSS Bonnie and Toasted Bread, thank you, love you, and see you soon. Bye, hasta otro momento. Chao, bonitos. Let me stop it how. Wait.